All right. Good evening and good night, and welcome to the It's Your Perspective Talk Show. It is Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. This is the It's Your Perspective Talk Show podcast. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. until AST time. We are coming to you live from St. Croix, Virgin Islands. Tonight is special. We have episode 496 getting ready to begin. Um, Real quick, we're on a road. We're on a road to 500 shows. Tonight is episode 496, so we're getting close. We've got a special guest for episode 500. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. We hope that all our listeners, all our viewers, all our past guests tap in and show some love. Give us, hopefully you can give us our flowers. It's so important to give your flowers prior to one departing. But yeah, just try to tap in. We've done 500 shows. We've interviewed 500 different guests. But as we move on here, the show is coming to you via StreamYard. We're linked in through Facebook and YouTube. On Facebook, we're linked in through live from the Virgin Islands, and then also I am David Christian on the Facebook profile. No more Twitter. So click, like, subscribe, share, comment. We're just trying to grow our channel. And more importantly, our prayers and his blessings. When you put it all together, you get one perfect love. So we do have a special guest in the studio. Let me bring him up right now. There he is, Laurel Gerard. Welcome back, my friend. How you doing?
Hi, good evening, David. It's been a long time.
Yeah, man. You were. I think you've been on our show a couple times in the past.
Yes, about three
This
times.
this is post-hurricane or pre-hurricane. Before the hurricane, we were in the other studio and all that stuff. He was there, coming on the show to talk about music, the local music vibe here, and the St. Croix vibe, the Virgin Islands vibe. But also one of the other things that Mr. Gerard does is he hosts or he puts on this event called the USVI Walk of Fame Music Awards show. And Soup and I had I don't know if you remember this. I think we actually won. If I remember correctly, we got an award from you.
Correct? Oh yes, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I got some pictures of that somewhere. But I don't have it right here in front of me, but we were gracious enough to be blessed by Mr. Gerard giving us an award. I don't remember exactly what it was for, but thank you for that. Bingy Soup, thanks you as well. So, what's been happening with you?
Well, I'm still singing calypso, but more or less not taking part in calypso competition anymore because of a back injury, and I don't want to be on stage singing out of a golf cart,
Okay.
like I've seen other calypsonians do in other islands now. So I said, let me still do my music with Daddy Jones, which is my arranger is Owen Baptiste Jr., yes, known as Daddy Jones, and Pat Reggae. She have been doing my background vocals. Okay. And also Lisa Charles. She did the most recent background vocals for me.
Okay. And so did you do some music for this last St. Thomas Carnival?
Yes. I have about 3 songs out.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's one that's been on the radio called Susie Gal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
that one's doing good?
Well, it's doing good when you hear it playing, but you're still having problems with music stations,
okay,
radio stations, getting your music played.
Okay, yeah. I thought by now, because as long as Soup and I have been doing the show, that's always been sort of an area of contention with the artists, that they all, they're not playing their music on the local radio stations. So here it is in 2025, and that's still happening.
Yeah, it's still happening. Man. And a particular radio station just plays old music. I guess it's from the rotation in the computer,
Okay.
But they don't play. You could take your music over there. You have to either get it on a talk show,
Okay.
But otherwise than that is not going to be played.
Okay. That's rather interesting. So we're still struggling with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're still struggling with that. I mean, how do you think we can fix that, man? I mean, is it just as simple as taking your song to the station and just saying, hey, I got a new song, listen to it first, and just asking these guys to put it in rotation?
Um, I would be glad if there's somebody that you could just take it to and you ask them to play it. But when you go to the radio station, it's like this person don't know who you have to contact. It's that kind of thing,
Okay. To kind of shuck and jive and
Yeah, jive, yeah.
kind of got you running around in circles just to get your music played. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much good music here. Whether it's R&B, your music, the soca. Is it like jumpy, like the jumpy, or what is the category? The jumpy and the
Yeah, we have groovy and
the groovy, yes.
jumpy, which is the soca monarch competition that they have
Okay.
during festival. I can say festival because I've seen festival, but I know it had started on St. Thomas, but I don't know if it continues.
Okay. So you said you did 3 new songs for this past carnival here in St. Thomas.
Let me see. I think there was a song name. It was lashing the DJs that don't play our song. It was called hit them the whip. Yeah,
Okay.
hit them the whip. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it was saying since they don't play our songs, local songs, they play songs from away. Hit them the whip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crack the whip real hard.
The whip, and we had a long whip for this the shot of the cover.
Okay.
Yeah, for the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't perform any of these songs anywhere during this past carnival in Rock City?
No, I stopped performing because of my injury,
Okay.
But I try to get the songs on stations because I'm known in Antigua, Anguilla, and some other places. But it's good to get your music out there. And I thank you, David, because when you had streaming live from the VI, it helped promote the local music abroad,
Yeah, I mean that's what we were big on is playing local music, and
Yes.
I did get a lot of feedback from a lot of local artists. That, yeah, man, I heard my song, and that was the intent, was just to have whoever you are, yourself and Pressure and just whoever send me the music. I would just put it in rotation and just it would just play. Our format was pretty simple, where I believe, if I remember correctly, that within an hour, whether it was 9 to 10 or 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, there would be 3 to 4 songs, local songs that would play within that hour.
Okay.
And that's a lot.
That's a lot. Yes.
That's a lot of local music being played every hour. And we, that's the way that we had the programming. I had programming to do that, so that the local music would get pushed out. And like I said, people were tuning in, and people were, artists were hearing it, hearing their own songs. People that were just listeners of the station heard the local music and said, "Oh, I didn't," they would say, "Oh, I didn't know such and such had a new song out. I heard it on your station." Well, that's what we were trying to do. We were just trying to get the local artists pushed out. And maybe the radio station will come back. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So, what's your Calypsonian name?
I know.
Hello?
The teacher.
The teacher, that's right.
Some people are asking why not DA. Yeah.
The teacher.
I just want, that teacher. Yeah, because I used to teach. And Los James, right, who had the radio station, he was the one that called me the teacher and gave me that name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good, man. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the. So you're on the 12th annual USVI Walk of Fame Music Awards, and I think at the end there, it says, I think you added meets the Grammys.
Yes, the reason why is that I felt that doing a regular show, like a ceremony, not getting out to the audience. So I decided to change it. If you
Okay.
remember, we had do it one time, I think, when I honored you in the day, and then we did one with a big show in the night in 2018.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, you weren't there for that one. But I remember you used to have some guys from different bands used to call the radio station from New York and so forth. And I wanted to honor those guys. But the problem is you couldn't get a phone number because, everybody got a cell phone now and you can't go in the phone book to get number. So what happened is that, would you believe, the three guys passed away, right?
Oh, really?
And that's
Okay.
what gave me the idea of doing it on radio now and Facebook. You see, it's a month long. It begins, this year it began on June 2nd.
Okay.
On a radio station. I don't know if you want me to mention the name, but it started on a radio station.
Okay.
And we had last year too, we had a question. You had to answer a question. And we had a winner, and would you believe they got a trophy? Because I already sent for it, just that the name was not on it, but the trophy was there, and some other good stuff was in a bag,
Yeah, I remember you having some good kind of goodies and stuff.
Yeah. So what happened was that I wanted to get it out to more people because I'm 69 now, and the members of my class who were helping, a lot of them gone down, ill now, and to put on a big production like that where you had to set up, we had gone so far where we had limousine and stuff, you didn't see those things, but David, they were at Galloway's nightclub. We had done that, and you had to take down the set after,
Okay.
So I saw where it was going, but the problem is the help that you needed. So I decided to do it in a different way, where you could get a lot of people who they are abroad to see what's going on. And on Facebook, that's why I included Facebook, because a lot of people send comments, congratulations in doing that,
So what's the whole concept behind the award show? I mean, is it broken down? I can't remember exactly, but is it broken down by best song, best performance? I mean, how do you determine who wins?
Okay, it's not the type of award show where you have like R&B versus soul music and different things like that. The idea of the USVI Walk of Fame Music Awards, meet the Grammys, is for musicians, bands, singers, etc., reggae artists, have to come up with an objective and goals that they have done something that have led them to produce music to our local culture.
Okay.
It's not just going out there and singing and then you get an award. No, it has to do with the culture in the Virgin Islands.
Yes. Okay.
And well, I like it to go in the category in different categories, but it needs more people to do that kind of production.
Okay.
So we recognize you for like bands. Like, would you believe many bands that have given an award did not know why they were receiving an award? Many of them said they just decided to start a band, but they never knew that they would be recognized for it. And so I try to explain to them that you should be recognized for anything that you started. And I know someone who is doing sports and he's doing a good job with that too,
Okay. So, tell us some of the people that have won in the past.
Oh my! I just remember in the ad I mentioned about 500 and I think it's 64 I have honored. As a matter of fact, you reminded me that I honored you earlier tonight. I don't even remember.
Yes, I do remember. I do remember because I remember we were at the place over by. No. We were over by the Department of Education.
Oh no! Yeah, it started out at what you call a place there?
There's the Curriculum Center, I believe.
Curriculum Center, yes, Curriculum Center. First time. Didn't start there. It started at Alwyn Baptiste Senior's backyard studio when he had a studio. We were able to put up a set on the porch, and we had Alvin G, God bless him in his grave, and Tom Ada from the Cinquire Avis put us on the front page, you know, and they
Okay.
had come, but they came late. I had already taken down the set, and they called and asked me if I could put it back up, and I went and put it back, and I got on the front page with it. I think I have the paper someplace, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. Good.
Yeah, that's where it started. Yeah.
Okay. And so, you say here, win a prize, award, or trophy, gas money for the second year by answering a question.
Yes, and it was done on the 2nd of June on
Okay.
Sinclair's radio show. We had a winner, Vordell Peterson. She won the question. What was the question now? I can't even remember the question. Oh, we honoring Daddy Jones again. Daddy Jones have been honored. This is Alwyn Baptiste Jr. many times. Even was honored for Producer of the Year. Well, what happened is that he actually is playing in 4 bands, but one of them is not functioning. And somehow I saw it one night while trying to get awards. It just came in my mind that this guy is playing in 3 bands, which is Express Band, Vio International, and Panther Vibes International Band in Anguilla. So, and he have Daddy Jones and the crew. So I said, you know what? He deserves another award. And I decided to recognize him. And then Dave Martinez for 103.5 FM for music. The music, I think it's production. I don't remember how I have it. And splicing commercials with music, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
This year I didn't put too many people. I decided to add a poem named Music is Universal. So it was played on Sinclair's program. It's a poem I wrote, and Daddy Jones add music to it, you know, to honor musicians, singers, everybody.
Okay.
So the ad is running until the end of June, you know, recognizing many of the Virgin Islands artists, you know, musicians and bands.
Okay. And you mentioned too that more than 500 music awards have been presented to honorees over the past 12 years.
Well, I must say, David, is more than that because I was doing it before I started the awards, but I just put that among. Yeah, I remember I was honoring people at even I could give you one example where there's a coming down from Mount Pleasant. I forget where the gas station is. And one day they were opening a pharmacy. And right there, I remember honoring Pumpa. And I think someone else, you know, right at that event. So it was not just happening with the awards alone.
Okay. So if I understand you correctly, so something is happening every day? Every day?
No. What's happening for the month, we're recognizing all the the honorees for this year, plus people in music, musicians, bands, singers, you know. As long as you do something with music and it's related to the culture, you're being recognized on the airwaves, you know.
Yeah. And then what the main event is when?
Well, the main event was the first day that I went on the radio station on Sinclair's program. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not having an event like at a hall or anything.
No, we decided to cut the that because you getting people there, but you're not reaching out to a big large crowd. So that's why I changed, and that's why I added Meet the Grammys, you know.
Okay. I got you. Because I was reading what you had posted about it, and I was just trying to figure out so when is the grand finale event? But you said you don't do that. You don't do that part anymore. So you're just, I guess day by day you're honoring somebody else.
Well, throughout the whole month of June, everyone is being recognized on the airwaves through the ad that is playing.
Okay.
It plays 5 times a day.
So who did you honor today?
No, no, it's not today. Like when I first went on, I explained that we were honoring Alwyn Baptiste
Yes.
Jr. and for him playing in 3 bands. Then
Okay.
Dave Martinez for 103.5 FM
Yes.
for what he does with the commercial ads and with music, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I
So
got you.
yeah, but everyone is being recognized for the whole month, you know.
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah,
understand. I
we
understand.
want to
Yeah.
do something a little innovative and different, you know.
Hmm.
Actually, getting that's not what the Walk of Fame Music Award was meant to be stuck in like a regular ceremony. When it
Okay.
started out, it was supposed to be where I could get someone who in media to follow me around and we honor them on the job. That's why it came up with Walk of Fame. And
Okay.
now I know there's a Walk of Fame in the States, but this is completely different, you know.
Okay. The concept
And
is slightly different. Yeah.
the concept is different. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And I also think I read too that you're doing this sort of all on your own, right? This is all just your production. You don't have
Oh,
like a team of
yeah.
people.
Um, there's a reason I found out for that, and I'm not gonna mention any um, group or anything, but when you go for grants, you have to be very careful because people want to set you up that you must recognize they that give you the grant. And it seems
Mm,
to me, from being a teacher, I've learned that people can rub you off the wrong way.
mm,
They can think that because they get you to do apply for these grants and you must come and explain to them what you have done or show what you have done. So I
mm,
decided, you know what, I'm going to try and produce this by myself. And that's
mm.
what I've been doing. Now I'm doing something, but I would not explain what it is. And then also along the way, people came and chipped in to help with it.
Okay. Okay. So you do have a following when it comes to this.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, David, on Facebook, I got so much accolades for doing this, you know,
Hmm.
that people tell me continue with it, don't stop, you know. But I said I had to do it a little different because it's the 12th annual right now.
Yes.
But how many more years do I have? I don't know, to reach all those artists from way back in the 60s. Look
Hmm.
at this here, David. Right now, we have someone is about to be laid to rest, which I wouldn't call any name, playing in a famous band. And I
Hmm.
honored that particular band. But David, the thing about it is that we talk about we want our local music for the Virgin Islands to be known as Quelbe, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, David, where are the Quelbe bands? If we were talking about one band, I know that they have a serenade during Christmas. And
Hmm.
don't get me wrong, they're doing a very good job, and I commend them for that. But then they should have had more bands of that nature from this, I would say, the 60s
Hmm.
to now, maybe to equal, maybe I wouldn't go to 50, or if I say 50 next I could say 100, but the band have gone into the high school, um, complex high school, and
Hmm.
they had started a band there. But you know, most of the students graduate, and I think they went off island.
Yes.
So this band is doing a very good job. They recently had the 55th anniversary, and I am saying that there should be more bands like that
Hmm.
branch out from um, that band or other bands that we had, other Kaiso bands, you know,
Yes.
Kwebe bands. Sorry,
Okay.
yeah.
But are there Quelbe bands other than Quelbe Band X that are around
Yes.
right now?
Now, only one that I honored is there, you
Okay.
know, and I am sure that I could call the name for Pikey. Pikey was honored for his band. I forgot the name of the band, but they
Okay.
don't do uh, they don't go in parades and play for like Christmas morning, what you call serenade.
Yes.
See, that's what I'm talking about. The legislature said that the Virgin Islands music is Quelbe. Okay, if you go there and look, you see what music is being played out there. No, you don't see youngsters at the Quelbe events, unless maybe it's a night at festival when they have the local or the cultural event where they have quadrille dancing. But right now, you see everything is mostly soca. If you go down there and you see the groovy Monarch, soca Monarch, or party Monarch, you see how the village is full of people that particular night.
On those nights, yes.
And it reminds me of, I've seen it in Anguilla and Antigua especially, that the Calypso show, you could run cattle in those islands now, and on the night of the Calypso show is not like the Soca Monarch. When you go to the Soca Monarch show, you can't move. You move, you lose your spot.
In the other islands.
In the other islands, yes. And here, I noticed that here started to get kind of big when I last saw it.
Okay.
But I more or less watch it on Facebook because I try not to go places where I have to stand up long, with my back condition. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I got you. Well, kudos to you, man. I mean, this is the 12th annual, so you obviously been doing it, for 12 years. And I just hope that it's getting better. And I could see, from the posts that you're making about this, that people are commenting or clicking like and clicking love. So there are people that they're aware of what you're doing.
Yeah. I even went to Antigua several times and presented awards there, and in Anguilla I also presented awards. Anguilla was for the North Song Band that they had many years ago. I had bring them to St. Croix when I was working with a Farmer Crucian Festival.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in 1992.
Okay.
Yeah, when Maria Chichi Hewa was president.
Okay.
I had bring North Song Band here.
Okay.
North Song International. Yeah.
Okay. And that band is no longer?
No, they don't no longer. But they had tried to come up a couple of years ago, around the time that I presented that award, and then after some of the members went in different bands,
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do we have to do to get the Quelbe more prevalent? We want 5,000 people at a Quelbe jam. I mean, how do you do that? I mean, do you post the music, talk about the bands that are still around? I mean, how do you do that? Because I guess people like what they like, and some people may view Quelbe as old folks music. It's too slow. They don't like what what they're singing about. It's not risque enough in the content. They want a lot of the boom shakalaka type of stuff. But I mean, how do you envision that part happening? I mean, trying to get more people out.
Well, David, I must say, from being a teacher, right, I realized that whenever you give an assignment for students to do, let's say a report on a band, for example, they don't have a curriculum they might have a music curriculum, but they don't have books in the schools with musicians and bands, they don't have that. So I think it starts in the local schools, where they should have information about band members, bands, singers, and so forth, and they don't have that. So what happens is that many of the younger people that's coming up, if you ask them about Daddy Friday, for example, who brought music to a big level, right? When he sang, especially music from the VI. And he died around 2005, and now these youngsters that have grown up don't know nothing about him because there is nothing to read about him. I wanted to put all these people that I honored, I wanted to have a place that you could put up some or put in mahogany, something about the people that I honored and the bands and so forth. I went on different shows asking for help, and Doc Peterson heard me, but we were trying to get something together, but he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I was on Sinclair's show and I was asking for the same thing, but it's like that you can get the help, and
That's unfortunate. That's
yeah,
unfortunate.
unfortunate. Yeah, so I think that the first is to get the students them to recognize who the music heroes, if you want to call them that, are, and then you need to have like maybe on certain shows, question and answers. You give out a question, something like that to get the youngsters into finding out about these people who are great musicians and so forth. Because that's what I'm telling you. If you come out and you say the legislature said Quelbeb music will be our local music for the Virgin Islands, but then you ain't showing young people where are the bands, and they don't know. No, I'm not saying that they're not bands and singing numbers. There might be one or two, but when you talk about the Virgin Islands, it should be having a lot of bands that's for Quelbeb music,
Yeah.
Then also I'm beginning to realize that bands, we had a lot of bands before, but now, David, there is these band equipment is very expensive now too. Bands used to take out loans and stuff, but now you could replace 5 people in a band with the equipment that you can what you call them. They're using stems and stuff for artists, like when they bring them to perform on the stage, they have these tracks and things that they play.
From the laptop, yeah.
And I'm seeing it. It's happening in the States right now. You see, I do. Well, this is the first time I'm going to say this. I am a moderator for 2 DJs in the United States, and this is on Twitch. Sometimes it's very hard for me to get on there because I like basketball and I end up will be watching the finals and stuff and can't get on there. But David, what they're using now, they're back to the 12-inch music and records. Records is what's going on. CDs went out in 2000. Here, right?
Okay.
The what you call a jump drive went out in 2012. If you try to go to a place here to get a junk drive, you'll be lucky to find one, but not CDs. You have to try other CDs from away. So here we have a community where we are out there singing, but the music is not getting in the hands of the older folks, for example. The older folks are not going to go on like Spotify and them online streams and stuff to get music. So our music is not being sold. Also, if you look for about T-shirts for bands, right, or singers, there is no T-shirts or bands anymore. That died out. If you look for record shops, David, there is no record shop anymore. You remember go to your CD and go to a record shop, but now you can't do that. There's anymore.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, man. That's really unfortunate. I mean, I guess we gotta do better. We just gotta do better to get the music out and make people aware of who's doing the music, who's playing the music, who's singing the music.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because right now you will hear your music playing, but they're not mentioning more the name of the singer or the artist. They don't say the artist's name.
Oh,
this
is local.
Locally, they don't. No. Worse if it comes up in a rotation on a computer, it just plays your music and that's it.
Okay. And if you're not aware, then you won't know who's singing the song.
Right, because there were some songs off of VI Carnival, right? In St. Thomas recently. And I love some of the songs, but I don't even know who's singing the song. And then, like I said, I can bet you that the person singing the songs don't even have music out. Because who's going to record people who are on record and vinyl down here? Right now it's expensive to record your music in a studio. You know, and we don't have that many studios down here.
Okay.
You know,
How many got, like 4 or 5?
well, I only know one that I am, and from since 2001, I started recording there,
Okay.
and that's Alwyn Baptist Jr. You know,
Okay.
yeah, I
Okay.
record with him.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I would think that people just do the music at home as long as you have a laptop.
Yeah,
And
many
you
people are
got,
getting involved in that. But
yeah,
then you see that's good. I'm proud of that. But the problem is, you do that now, you tend to gravitate to Spotify and those different streams online, right?
mhm.
For some people, they to get their music out farther. So I am proud of Pompa for he has taken his music till Trinidad and participated over there in the carnival.
Yes, I remember
And
seeing that.
Adam O, I am proud of him too. He has taken his music internationally and very far, and some other artists have
Yes.
done that, you know.
Mhm.
But like for certain people that have been in the business many years ago, and you have produced so much music, like for example, King Bobby, my cousin, because he has a lot of songs.
Mhm.
At his age, he's not going to be going out on tour, you know.
Mhm.
So even he told me he have problems with his music getting played on stations. And
Mhm.
remember, he was the one that opened the door for us to get our music played.
Yes, yes. I just ran into him here about 2, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
still a lively guy. He's still a lively
yes,
guy.
still
You know,
lively, still lively.
still
He had a
lively.
song called "Young People Thing," and
Okay.
he was just talking about what he was saying, just lively. He was really lively in the song, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Comparing the young people thing today compared to the old time thing with older people, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I
The song
got
was
you.
very popular. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, man, just keep working at it, man. I mean, sometime somebody something will have to give, man. You know, they can't. I guess in one breath or in one hand, they can't say that Quelby they want Quelby to be the national music, but then they don't really. On the other hand, they don't really do anything to make people aware that that is the national music.
Yes.
Like you
Right.
said, teaching in schools, elementary, junior high, events downtown. I mean, how would you know if you don't have these things happening in the background?
Yeah. And the next thing is that now I'm not knocking any artist from away or anything, but I recognize that when there is festival, you see big artists come from other places and they get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now we like local artists who look like we still stuck in the 60s and get the little pittance, you know. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna include myself because I don't perform on stage anymore. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
speaking on behalf of the younger people, the younger generation and so forth, the older generation, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Why is that? Why can't and you have good performers from the Virgin Islands. Don't get
Mm-hmm.
me wrong, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like we stuck in the 60s.
Yeah, I see around carnival time, especially here in St. Croix. There's a lot of grumbling. People commenting on
Yes,
why can't the local people get paid more money? I do see that.
yes.
But the national artists that come here, they get the super big contracts, the super big payouts. But I do see
And then
that. I do see.
not not only that, they have to send money before that
Yeah,
artist or band comes to the Virgin Islands.
yeah. They
You know,
probably want half up front
yeah,
and
yeah,
then half, at the drop of their last song. They expect to see the other half deposited into an account or something like that. Yeah, I get it, but I'm with you on that. I do see that. A lot of people are grumbling. Well, why can't the local artists get a bigger payout? Our music is
yeah,
just as good. I mean, paying us. I would think if you pay the artist, let's say $5,000, $10,000, he could use that money to reinvest in himself. You know,
yes,
more studio
yes.
time. More radio time. There's a method to the madness behind this, but I
Yes,
just don't understand why they don't. I mean, I get that big artists demand money, but little artists, we want money too. We got a good
that's right.
song,
Yeah,
you know, and We want to,
you know.
we want to be recognized completely and professionally for the efforts, late nights in the studio and writing a song and making sure that the rhythm is right and all that stuff. Yeah, I get it. I get it, man. I just don't understand,
And, and we have a new type of music that is called Bram.
Okay.
Bass, rhythm, and melody.
Okay.
If you listen to the new music, you hear a lot of the bass and the rhythm, a lot of rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
There's many guys younger guys that's coming up that producing rhythms now,
Okay.
The younger ones are coming up with their own identity when it comes to rhythm,
Okay.
Daddy Jones was one of the first one that really came out with rhythms way back then. And then they did Jungle. I don't know if you remember when Via, at that time they were Via, they won Via International then when they did Jungle.
Okay.
A song called Jungle.
I don't remember. No, I don't remember that. No.
You don't remember? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, since then he has gone on to develop other rhythms that he has sent abroad for soca artists, and they have won, for example, in Antigua with rhythms that he sent for them. So we have the talent. It's not that we don't have the talent.
Yes.
But it's not being recognized as it should.
Okay. Okay. I got you, man. I'm with you on that one, 100%.
Yeah.
And I still keep in contact with some other local artists too. And Laurel, they say the same thing to me. It's just hell and high water to get the music played, and and they work so hard, and I don't get it. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, I think now, even if you win Road March, I haven't heard them saying that they even give a trophy. I don't think that they give anything for like a prize anymore for Road March, and maybe even for troops.
Yeah.
They probably don't get a prize.
Yeah.
So if we want the youngsters to take our culture and music further, we have to instill in them from the beginning. Let them know how these things evolve and where you have to know where it's going, because I always focus on many of the bands that, like I said, started music. And when you ask them right now, there's some people have been asking me to honor them. I called the guy and I spoke with him. If you hear what he told me, it's not going to mention the band name, but for example, they started the band, but then out of the band, the person who became the music arranger and stuff, he became a success, but left them behind. And they have you heard about one-hit wonders? That's what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, one-hit wonders.
Okay, yeah. I got you. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. Yeah, just keep pressing, man. Just keep pressing. Just keep going good. I mean, you're at 12th, so 12th annual. So
yeah, that's why. That's why I said, I changed the name to the music awards to meet the Grammys, because try to take it a little farther so it could go out there.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so just run down real quick what this is all about. So this is Laurel Gerard. He's one of our local Calypsonians. He's called a teacher. And he has the 12th annual USVI Walk of Fame Music Awards meets the Grammys. And this whole thing is kicked off on June 2nd, and he's given some artists, their prizes, I guess, and their awards and their trophies.
Yes.
Before you answer, who do you think is really, really doing really well right now? I know you mentioned Pompa.
I was just going to say Pompa.
Yeah, Pompa has literally just gone to the moon, man. I mean, he's just taking off. I mean, when you get to Trinidad, you've reached the top. You're damn near close to the top. You know what I'm saying?
But that goes to show, David, that I saw it in Pompa many years ago, because I think it was in the 3rd or the 4th Walk of Fame that I honored him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also I see other stars that's going to be big stars.
Yeah.
But
who on the female side, the lady side is making waves now?
Well, I know Rudy Life.
Yes.
And if you talk about on St. Croix, we have Nikki Brooks.
Yes.
She was a Queen Calypso monarch
Yes.
before, you know. She
Yes.
sang with many bands like Imagination and I think Image Band, you
Okay.
know. She has
Okay.
have been out there, you know. Then you
Okay.
have Caribbean Queen. She won I think it's 7 titles from between St. Croix and St. Thomas for the Calypso monarch.
Okay.
But now she's singing under I think it's Caribbean Queen, but she has a band. She sang in St. Thomas last year and this year, and then she
Okay.
sang also in St. Croix. Yeah,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. Okay. Good. Well, there's another young lady too out of St. Thomas as well that's doing well, but I can't think of her name right now.
Yes, I think I know who it is. You want? Is it? I wonder her last name is Summer.
Uh,
I know who it is. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I've been
It's
trying to get her on the
a young,
show. Been trying to get her on the show for a while, but we just haven't really been able to link up. But I just saw on
right.
Facebook maybe a couple two weeks back that she just released a new song. But I can't think of the young lady's name right now. I draw a complete
Yeah, me
blank.
too.
But she's a young, black lady
Yeah.
that just loves to sing and she's just putting out good music.
Yes.
Okay, so in closing, Laurel, give us a real quick rundown of what's happening here. Is there a place that people can see anything? You catch any of this stuff on video? People can see videos or anything?
No, we don't have it on video.
Okay.
That's another problem that we have. You try to get somebody to record these things, and there's only one person that is actually out there in video, and it's very hard to get that particular person.
Oh, really?
To record, yeah. I have tried, and when you try to get in touch with the individual, he has to cover things for the governor and so forth,
Yeah, okay, I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you haven't tried any like local videographers?
No.
I see them here, there, and everywhere, doing stuff on Facebook.
You see, that's the problem I'm talking about. They might have them, but how you don't know them, who they are. This one particular person, everybody knows him.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that long ago you could have run in the phone book and call people, but now everybody have a cell phone, and you have to have that number accessible.
Yes. Yes, you got to have that number. Yeah. How you link with people is a little different now, because like you said,
it's different. It's really.
You could just go and look down and videographer and see many names there, but now
but no, you can't. You can't.
You can't do that. It's just matter. You have to. People post on Facebook, "Hey, I'm looking for a videographer," and or whatever you're looking for, and people will respond. I mean, that's a way to do.
No, I had a personal videographer that put my videos up on the internet, but unfortunately, he was killed.
Okay, sorry to hear that.
So now I've been trying to get someone else, but it's very hard, because you got to think about the cost that they're going to charge you for putting these things up, and creating the video and stuff.
So you need a videographer and also someone that can do editing to add some you gotta
think about
effects and that type of stuff to the video.
Because remember now, I have an ad running on the radio, but it's not cheap to get the ad to run for a month, So when you're going to bring in a videographer, you need a person for, let's say, when I was going to begin in June 2nd, I would have needed him to be at the studio, and then for honoring, some of these people don't show up at the studio to get their awards. So then you might need that person again to give it to them when you're giving it, Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, it's difficult, It's difficult. You need funds and you got to get sponsors and the whole, the whole 9 yards, Especially if you want to give it sort of a professional feel. Because I would imagine that some people would like to have seen you giving the award to an artist, and it has to be all captured on video, type of a thing. So,
and that's how we had started out at the curriculum, but then we had to move from there, the Curriculum
Okay, is that
Center.
place still open? Is it still open?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, yes, I
I
haven't
don't
been
think
over
it,
there since that day.
yes. I
I
don't
mean, I
think so.
drive past there all the time, but
Right.
never really
Yeah, I don't know.
stopped in there and like I did that one time.
Yeah.
Okay, man. So the 12th
But like I
annual.
said, it's the 12th annual USVI Walk of Fame Music Award meets the Grammys. And it's a month long. So realizing bands, musicians, artists, quadrille, um, calypso singers, everybody that have contributed to the music culture of the Virgin Islands. We're
Okay.
recognizing them for a whole month, you know.
Okay. Okay. Good, man. Well, Laurel, thank you so much for coming on the It's Your Perspective Talk Show podcast, man. I really appreciate it. This stuff that you're doing here is excellent. The whole the Walk of Fame, Music Awards, and just the whole thing of just making people, Virgin Islanders, more aware of artists, present and past. And especially if they say Quell Bay is the local, is the the national or is the local music. What am I
For the
trying to say?
Virgin Islands.
Yes,
Yes.
and the things to do that we have to do in order to make the young people that are coming up aware of the music. And like you said, music class. I don't know if you have a class a week in school. And they talk about it. I don't know. That's a whole nother discussion there. But we do need it. We do need it.
Yeah. And you could tell to David that if you have, let's say, 26 schools in the Virgin Islands, and they have music programs from let's say maybe third grade up in the elementary, and then you got high schools. How come then that, let's say, from in the 60s with Mr. Marasco and so forth at the Central High School, when it used to be by where grammar school is now, Elena, we used to see Sinclair them, and the band used to be practicing in the street. I remember when I was attending grammar school. And how come then that all the students that have gone from the Virgin Islands, for example, or who stayed, that you're not seeing singers, gospel choirs, you could even put in that, and so many bands that you would expect to have seen with all the, the product you bring up from the schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got you.
So I hope that the Walk of Fame can help to bring light to our music perspective in the Virgin Islands,
Okay. All right. We'd like to thank you for coming on the It's Your Perspective Talk Show podcast every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. AST. We are streaming live from St. Croix, Virgin Islands. We have just about wrapped up episode 496 with Laurel Gerard, the teacher. He's a retired teacher too, and he's also still making music, but he doesn't perform. And he said that he created 3 new songs for this past carnival in Rock City, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. And I just assume that he's going to continue to make music as long as he's physically and mentally able to. He just probably won't be able to perform it on stage. But hey, then you put the music on the radio station, and hopefully the DJs will play it and push it and play it and push it.
Yes.
So on that note,
thank you, David. We have to thank you for allowing me to be on your show.
Yeah, no problem, man. That's what we're here for. I want to thank you for coming on again, and much success to you, Laurel. I really appreciate what you're doing. I mean, I see the value in it. I'm sure other people see the value in it, but I guess we all have to come together in a collective to make it, to push it on and make it even more aware by the masses.
Yes, and then also for you, I hope that you do make it to your 500th anniversary show. Because,
that's right.
I saw in your production years ago where you are going, and that's why I honored you way back then. You see?
Yeah, man, we were rolling, man. Soup and I are very
Yeah.
excited, man. I mean, we're just about there to hit this 500 show. You know, we've been
Yeah.
at it a long time, and we've taken some breaks in between. I remember just after the hurricane, I took like a year off. I wasn't doing any shows. I mean,
Okay.
realistically, if we had been doing shows in that period of time, we'd be, you know, 600-700 shows. But we took some
700.
time.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but 500 is a milestone for us. We've been at it. Oh, Laurel just dropped off there. That is weird. Anyway, he somehow we lost his connection there. But I want to say that this is the HR Perspective Talk Show podcast every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Most importantly, this is episode 496. We are on the road to 500 shows. It's coming soon. We got a special show lined up for our 500 show. That's coming soon. I can't say when just yet, but stay abreast of social media. We'll be blasting out when it is. We're just hoping that our past guests, new guests, followers, viewers tap in to, you know, as they said, give us our flowers. I'm not, you know, trying to be arrogant about it, but people, as they say, would like to, get their flowers before, the end of time, and makes them feel good, makes them feel like they accomplished some stuff. Oh, here he is, just popped back on. Are you there?
Okay, David, I'm back.
Okay, you just popped on there real quick. I was just kind of wrapping up.
Yeah,
but,
something happened.
Yeah, I don't know. You just disappeared off my screen there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I hope it wasn't
WAPA. I don't know what that was. You just were there 1 second and you were gone. But anyway,
Yeah,
I just
saw
wrapping up
everything went. Yeah.
Just kind of went black. Yeah. So I was just wrapping up, Laura, just saying that we're approaching the 500 show. I can't say exactly when it will be, but it'll be here soon. We have a couple more shows lined up. We've already got them on the schedule. We've already talked to the guests. They're aware that their day is coming, and we're just going to have fun with it. And just after the 500 show, we're just going to keep rolling. This is not a political talk show. This is a show that we allow our guests to come on. If they're doing anything exciting, positive in the community, we want them to come on this podcast and talk about what they're doing. That's sort of what Soup and I have been doing from sort of day one, is come on the show, whether you're a musician or like Laurel, he's got this Walk of Fame. Anybody, there's a lot of people that come on the show to talk about a lot of different things. We had a young lady that's just the other day talking about real estate. And just, look at our YouTube channel. It's Your Perspective Talk Show podcast. You go on there. That YouTube channel is current. It's up to date. Every show we've done is on our YouTube channel. Facebook, probably missing one or two, but definitely go onto YouTube. All our shows are there. Even other stuff that we've done, videos of different things here and there, that's in there as well. But definitely 496 shows where Soup and I have sat down and interviewed people like Laurel who are doing something in the community and want to share it with the masses. You come to our show, we got you covered. So on that note, we're out. Everybody have a great evening. It is hot here in St. Croix, Virgin Islands. My little thing here says it's 82 degrees Fahrenheit, mostly clear skies. But I'll tell you what, it feels hotter than that. All right. Everybody have a good evening, and we will see you for our next show. Stay tuned and follow us on social media. We're out. Peace.